You ever feel like you just cracked level 1 of the sales game? You're hitting all your targets, you're crushing it, and getting noticed for all your hard work. Commission checks are getting fatter and fatter, and oh so consistent. You know that if you keep this up, you'll master this level of sales. And your wildest dreams, well, they'll all come true. But even with that success, you feel like something's missing. You're either looking for the next challenge or for everything to fall apart. I know, I've been there too. In this video, I'll break down 3 game-changing levels of tech sales. It'll take your career to the next level and help you feel way more confident about your future. I've spent 20 years excelling in direct and indirect sales, healthcare, telecom, and software sales. And after thousands of hours and countless deals, I've discovered that the best salespeople move through 3 distinct levels: the career closer, the rainmaker, and the entrepreneur. I've hit all 3, and I know each level comes with its own set of challenges and rewards. So stick with me until the end of this video, and I'll dive into these game-changing levels. I'll cover the good stuff, the challenges, when you know you've arrived, and when you know it's time to get the hell out and jump to the next level. If you're crushing it in sales but have no idea what's next, understanding where you are and how to move forward will help you feel fulfilled. But first, you ever wonder how some salespeople crush their targets month after month, year after year, and still have a balanced and successful life? Well, that wasn't the case for me. When I first started sales, I had no clue how I was going to hit my quota each month. And it really didn't help that my sales funnel was full of bullshit. Leads that I've been pushing for months. I remember dreading our forecasting meeting where I would commit 20% to quota for the month, knowing I was going to get my ass chewed out by my sales manager. Yes, it was bullshit. Even if I managed to hit quota the month before, it was like all my hard efforts and triumphs were wiped clean as soon as I walked through that door on the first of the month. One day, the senior sales guy on my team, he must have seen me stressing, thinking about running just right out that door. I didn't understand why he would take the time to talk to me. He never missed quota. In the sales game, I was a loser compared to him. He was so damn consistent. The guy wasn't flashy though. I mean, he literally wore the same out-of-date suits he bought in the 90s every day. He didn't close the biggest deals, but he always hit his number, always. And he seemed happy. The guy pulled me aside and told me he recognized that look on my face, that he'd been there before. Yeah, right, I said. He said, there's a formula, and once I figured it out, things would be way easier. This is what he said. He said, sales, it's kind of like a wave. When you don't know the fundamentals and you don't know the skills, it's gonna be up and down, huge up and downs. But once you figure it out, it's kind of like sticking your hand out the side of a moving car and gently moving it up and down. And you're controlling it and riding the motion, and it never gets too far out of sync. In fact, it's kind of fun when you figure it out. He said you can work on a million things, but these 4 things will help you hit your target consistently. He said, step 1, learn the fundamentals of sales. Work on being prepared, learn your products, and get better at closing. Step 2, focus on adding value with every customer. Step 3, stop being a shithead. What? What he meant was work on your reputation inside and outside of the company. And the last thing he said was number 4, learn deal pacing. When you know this, you can stack and close your deals at more strategic times of the month. This will make you successful for that month and for the future. I took his advice. It took some time to get good at it, but it made a huge difference. By adding a ton of value, I could justify higher costs and build a great reputation at the same time. My customers started telling their friends and their colleagues. They all knew about me. I had a steady stream of business. Sales didn't feel so hard anymore. When I figured out pacing, I was stacking leads and closing deals at the right time of the month. I started enjoying life, spending time with my family, and taking vacations. Shoot, during this time, I closed my biggest deal ever while I was on vacation, sitting on a beach, enjoying a sunset. I had finally made it. I became a career closer. So how do you know when you've made it to this level? Being a career closer is like being a skilled fisherman. Your fishing rod is your sales skill. And no matter the depth of water, you know exactly how to bait it and cast your line to consistently catch the big fish. You build a life that fits around your job, your hobbies, time for family, vacations, a great lifestyle. You become a trusted person in your community. You do what you love. Your skills are so good, they just feel natural. You can handle the changes in the market. Even the random bullshit commission changes that happen, they don't even faze you because you know you'll always find a way to succeed. You'll always end up closing the right deals and provide for yourself and for your loved ones. But if you want bigger challenges, bigger excitement, maybe it's time to think about the next level. If you're ready to see what comes next and how to take your career even higher, stick around. Let's talk about the next level, the rainmaker. Want to know the difference between a career closer and a rainmaker? Well, career closers, they're deal makers. Yeah, they're consistent. They're the doers. They hit their targets. But in the big, scary jungle of sales, rainmakers, they're not just hunters. They're the fucking apex predators. They know exactly which rock to look under and what alley to turn down to find the deals worth the big bucks. I eventually mastered level 1 of sales and became a career closer. And if you were like me, you got the itch. It was time. It was time for you to go find a bigger challenge and land those massive deals. You know, like the ones that you read about in the company emails, or like the ones you see awarded on stage at the all sales kickoff every year. I knew one of those deals would change everything for me. So I got a job at a SaaS company and I set my sights on closing my first huge deal. But guess what? I'm no dummy. First time I tried to figure this out, I found a mentor. So why not do this again? I found a mentor. He was my division's rainmaker, and he gave me 4 pieces of advice. First one was research. Go as deep and as wide as possible. The more information you have, the more angles you can use to win. Second piece was strategy. Plan for every potential objection, every level of the negotiation. Build your stories, your pitch, and offers to address them in advance. Number 3 was offers. Add value by solving your customers' problems. This earns you the right to offer more. Number 4, network. He said closing deals isn't enough. Get referrals and build your network. Damn, that was some good advice, wasn't it? This advice set the foundation. I targeted a major deal. The first step was done. I got them in my funnel. I set up the sales process. The stakes were higher. The pressure was intense. But I knew that if I could get this deal, it would be a game changer. I spent weeks researching everything about this company and the buyer specifically. I tracked down every company he worked at for the last 8 years. And guess what? If you bought tech from any company or through any of my sales network, I knew about it. Who would have known this was the key to closing the deal for the max potential? The rainmaker knew. After weeks of planning and follow-ups, I moved them through the sales process to the final negotiation. I addressed all the objections early. So when a last-minute concern came up, I knew I'd be ready. We went back and forth. He had agreed to half a dozen mini closes at this point. This deal was well on its way to close, but I had a feeling. I knew something was coming. So, do you have any final concerns? I asked him. I didn't want to bring up my experience, he said, but I actually went through an evaluation a few years back when I was a buyer with my last company. Honestly, I had the worst experience with the onboarding and the salesman, and he might not shop around. You know what? I cut him off. I knew what was happening. Hey, I tracked this deal down. I went from 5 years ago. I talked to the salesman. I looked at the notes for the whole transaction. I think you know where this is going, I told him. You want me to read what was exactly happening in that transaction, word for word? Or do you just want to close the deal and get this thing wrapped up? He looked at me and he chuckled. He said, you know, I was just trying to get an extra 20%. Great job on doing your due diligence, though. Let's get this deal closed. He signed on the dotted line. He ended up being an amazing referral and brought me a ton of deals over the years. That's when I realized I had finally become a rainmaker. So, how do you know when you hit the rainmaker level? What most don't know is that rainmakers, they're actually oddballs. They have to be. No normal sane person has so many random characteristics to be successful. They're the best at finding and closing the biggest deals, but also maintaining the most important clients. They're charismatic, but anal about having everything their exact way. They can understand and read the vibe in any room, but they're borderline autistic savants when it comes to numbers and analytics. They're very efficient at protecting their time, but seem to always be available for their clients. Being a rainmaker is kind of like being a master chess player. Every move is strategic and aimed at getting the ultimate win. But becoming a rainmaker isn't easy. Pressure is high, the stakes are bigger, and the competition, well, it's fierce. A small misstep, miscalculation at any part of the deal could be enough to lose the entire thing to a competitor. So you might be asking, can I really handle such high pressure? High pressure deals? High pressure job? What if I fail? These thoughts happen often, but overcoming them, well, it's part of the journey. The thrill of landing a deal that can transform your bank account, your business segment, or the company as a whole, it's massively addictive. It requires the ultimate level of poise in the face of stress, confidence, resilience, and guess what? A shit ton of strategic thinking. So, if you're getting bored at the level that you're at right now and you start craving more autonomy and more innovation, it might be time to think about the next level. Something entirely new. Something that can shape your future in a totally different way. Do you excel in sales, still feel restless, always taking on new projects and learning new skills? I worked my way through level 1 and level 2 in sales. I was great at sales. I could close deals and hit my quota quarter after quarter. I got the awards, President's Club, time and time again, but something was still off. I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more that I could do. While all my top performing peers were satisfied with their achievements, I was always looking for new challenges. Even though I was successful, I felt restless. I would spend my free time learning new skills. I got into persuasive writing, Photoshop, video editing, selling one-to-many virtually through webinars. These were things I loved doing, but I couldn't understand why I needed to dive deeper into them. My friends and family would ask, why didn't I just enjoy my success? They saw me working hard, not just at my sales job, but spending even more time on these side projects. They didn't understand why I wasn't satisfied with just being a top salesperson. One day, I realized that these extra skills weren't just hobbies. They were helping me with my sales job. My new skills in persuasive writing made my emails more effective. Photoshop and video editing helped me create engaging presentations. Selling virtually allowed me to reach more clients, but I still felt like there was more. I decided to seek advice from a mentor who had transitioned from sales and made his own business. He told me that the skills that I was learning were perfect for the creator economy. He said that my restlessness was a sign that I was ready for something bigger than just sales. So, through his journey, I realized that I wasn't just learning new skills for my sales job. I was preparing myself for something bigger. These skills were helping me transition into the entrepreneurial world. I was ready to create my own path and build something of my own. If you've mastered sales but still feel unfulfilled, it's time to build something of your own. You have the drive, you just need a certain set of skills. The journey won't be easy, but you can make a fulfilling transition from tech sales to an entrepreneur in the creator economy. If you're interested in watching a series on what skills you need and exactly how to transition from tech sales to the creator economy, well, drop a comment saying entrepreneurship and I'll start making that. But for everyone else still wanting to up-level their skill set and maximize the first 2 levels of sales, watch this video on becoming better than 99% of tech salespeople.